Hi, everybody. This week, Paul asked me a really great question, and here we go for the answer. The question was, when someone is angry and verbally expressing their stress, do you recommend remaining silent and calm to diffuse the situation, or are there words or phrases that help? So here we are in a very complex situation. We have to see there are three levels. One is the individual level. So what does this do to the person in charge? Let's say this is Paul. And then there's the team perspective. If Paul is hosting an event or facilitating a workshop, he has also a role of safeguarding the team for the group. And then there is this person in crisis, yelling and losing it and getting loud and so on, getting emotional, upset. And then we have two different levels. The one level is actually the facts, the issue. What is this whole discussion about? And then there is the relationship level between Paul and the group and Paul and the person in crisis. This refers back to the post I did this week. I will give you the link in the comments so that you can look it up again. And basically what Paul is referring to, I guess, is that I said when people are upset and the stress comes up the spinal cord and enters the brain area here, the brain stem, then we are completely shut off, because then our system goes to fight or flight mode. And the thinking area, which is here, the prefrontal cortex, is not available because it's cut off. We are struggling for our life. That's what how our body reads stress as danger for our lives. So then the whole capacity is taken up for surviving, and we can't process, we can't go here to the front where our thinking area is, the language, the memory, and so on. So if you have a conflict, if people are in stress, to have arguments, to talk to them, to convince them verbally is not possible. Of course, we have all kinds of ideas and narratives that our head brings up to explain, to interpret, but that's not what this is about. To have really our senses together isn't the case. So first we have the individual perspective, let's say, of Paul. So Paul has to understand, has to step back a bit out of the situation and has to understand what is going on for me. And if somebody yells at me or shouts at me, if I would be in Paul's situation, I would feel attacked. I would maybe get anxious or raging. And maybe I'm disappointed that this person doesn't support me or ruins my event, something like that. And then Paul has to ask himself, what do I need now? What is necessary for me to gain more safety and to be able to manage the situation, to understand what's going on? So first of all, Paul has to take care of himself. Then we have the team perspective. So we have to see what's going on for the others. If they perceive that person that is raging and aggressive as a bully, there's also this role of being responsible for the group so that they feel safe, setting up the guardrails. So you can have like eye contact with the group and see how they are. You can read their body language and you can ask. What's going on for you? Are you okay with the situation at the moment? And then there's this person in crisis, which is upset and lost it somehow. So you can look at the person, you can have eye contact, and then you can connect to the person. And as you are step back a bit, you can say, oh, I feel attacked. She got too close or he got too close. Or I can see that this person is really in trouble. So I want to reach out to that person and do something to make her feel more comfortable. And what you can do in the first place is to read her body language and to put into words how you perceive that person, express it. And then asking the question, what does this person need? So those are the first three levels, and then we have two more. And this is not to mix up the factual level by offering a compromise to calming the situation down, maybe, and the human interaction, which is on the relationship level. And when somebody gets so upset, loses it, then first we have to connect to the person. We have to take up eye contact, and we have to check in with the person and have to make clear that we have to handle the situation together. So the person cannot just lose it and that's it. So here I have a suggestion of how you could go through all these different levels and the different perspectives. So Paul could say, I can see you're very upset. Your voice is very loud. For me, it's too loud. So in this moment, Paul steps in for himself and draws boundaries. Like he could say, for me, it's too loud. I don't feel comfortable with this. And the others look stressed too. We want to have a constructive discussion with you. So Paul is now voicing his expectations and what he wants from the person, a constructive discussion. And this is not possible with someone yelling. So Paul can say, I want you to calm down. So he's connecting to the person, telling the person what is necessary now from his view, before we can go on with our conversation. What do you need to calm down? Because now it's clear, it's not about some dispute in the matter. It's about the person who needs safety and who needs to calm down. So what do you need to calm down? Paul could ask the question and offer, like, do you want a 5-minute break? Do you think that's enough time for you to calm down again? And do you want someone to join you outside? Do you want to have a chat, or do you want to have a walk for 5 minutes? And then we have interrupted the dynamic. We calmed down the loudness, but we didn't do a common mistake like not looking and not connecting and pretending nothing happened and look the other way and hope that the person will, or the situation will somehow be resolved without contributing. This probably won't happen. It's more likely that when a person lost it and you avoid connecting with the person, that it gets even more dynamic and emotional and upset. So I know this is for many situations they don't like too much, and which is critical and difficult. So I would love if you could take something away from this, and also would like to hear your comments if you think this is possible for you, or at which point it could be something we have to discuss. Like we had the 3 perspectives, the individual perspective, stepping back and checking in with yourself and taking care of yourself first and looking after your own needs. Then the second perspective, checking in with the group, with the others. What is my role? What am I responsible for? And what does that mean? What do I have to do about it? Then the third perspective, the person in crisis. What do I have to do for that person? And then wrapping it all up and connecting with the person in crisis. It might sound a bit complicated to have those 3 perspectives and 2 different levels, but actually you will find if you go through it, if you step back and sort yourself out first, or along what you are saying, and you get a bit practice in that, you will learn and notice how you calm yourself down by that, and how the whole situation will calm down. But you step up, you are there, you are present, you don't draw yourself out of the situation. And I think it's really helpful to understand where you are at that moment. And then you can go through all the different positions, and probably you will calm down yourself, and you will calm down the group, and you will calm down the person. So let me know how it went for you if you tried it out.